right, it's time for You Sound Off, sending things over to the couch to Don and Devo. Good morning, guys.
Good morning, Tam. Thank you so much. Yes, time to sound off. And because we have an expert coming up trying to help us deal with toxic management and toxic bosses coming up, we asked this question: how do you deal with a difficult boss? And have you had that in the past? And how did you handle that situation? Look, I had a terrible boss once. Way before I worked for this company.
Obviously.
Way before.
Obviously.
And it sucked because I was doing a job that I loved, but I hated a huge part of it because of how he treated me. And I wish I had some of these suggestions that we're going to get in just a little bit to kind of help me navigate through it. So let's hear from you right now. Facebook comment from Rita. Started a new role. Boss was a hardcore micromanager who seriously lacked emotional intelligence. Everyone walked on eggshells. Gave my 2 weeks notice after 3.5 months. My mental health is worth more than a paycheck. Good for you, Rita.
Facebook comment from Cheryl. Oh, yes, and I freaking quit. I cried daily over how toxic she was, how badly I was treated, especially in front of my coworkers, belittled and berated every time she showed up. And yes, I went to the labor board. Did anything happen? Yep, she was fired, but I didn't want to go back to that job.
Understandable. Tweet from Mike. Mike said, I kept notes and amassed a nice little collection of his BS, and when the time presented itself, I dumped that collection on the lap of his boss. Needless to say, my boss no longer messes with me.
You showed him. Tweet from Diana. I've had over the few years, but one in particular was not only difficult, she was incompetent. I filed a formal complaint with HR and let them deal with it. I tried speaking with her first, but she refused to even listen to my concerns.
And I think that's a good point, trying to speak to that person one-on-one first.
Yeah, sure.
Right? And then doing what you have to do for those next steps. Carrie Ann saying on Facebook, I worked for a place who favored people and worked you long hours, only paying a salary wage. They would play it up as it's the best place to work, yet treated some better than others.
Facebook comment from Tanya. Yep, I quit and I started my own business. Well, that's the thing. When you're your own boss, you can't complain about your boss.
Yeah. I have my own business and my boss is so toxic. Wait, that's you.
Yeah.
That's me.
That's right. Look in the mirror. Who's the problem? It's me.
That Taylor Swift song for you. It's gotta suck though when you have somebody, like, you gotta say it's not that serious, is what you're thinking. When somebody at a management level or whatever is screaming at employees because they probably have pressures on them.
And they probably had it done to them too. I'm not saying that's an excuse, but that's what we're conditioned to, right?
Yeah, I just think, like, anything you're doing, unless you're literally saving lives, it's not that serious.
Yeah, it's about motivating employees. We talked about this last week. What does it take for you to feel appreciated? We heard about the boss in that chat that we did about feeling sort of slighted because their subordinate got a better experience on a plane that they had. Listen, whatever it takes to motivate your employees is going to make you at your leadership shine. And so, the toxicity doesn't benefit anyone. And at the end of the day, companies are successful because of their employees. And so you want to make sure that you treat your employees right. And as we just had Kevin Forget, I know. I'll never not say Forget. He just said he appreciated us both. So thank you, Kevin.
Thanks, Kev. That's nice of you. That's it. And he said we also have to go to break. So if you dread going to work because of your boss, chances are you're not alone. Coming up next, we'll get tips on dealing with that difficult boss and find out when it's time to call it quits. Thank you for sounding off, everybody. Back with that next right here on BT.